Hello class and welcome back. We're going to look at graphing two-step inequalities today. We have recently learned how to solve two-step inequalities, but today we're going to actually learn how to graph them. So I hope that you have out your paper and your pencil. I'm going to need you to take notes. If I have anything written on the slides, then you are expected to have it written on your paper as well. There will be sections in the video where I ask you to pause, to try the example on your own. Then once you're satisfied with your answer, you can hit play again, double check your answer with mine. If for any reason something does not match, please pause the video and try to identify where you may have made a mistake in your answer. Okay, and then we'll move on. So the first thing I want to look at are the inequality symbols. You know them as less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. But you'll notice that I've split the screen up into two sections, a left column and a right column. Let's start on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side, you'll notice that there's an open circle, or it doesn't appear to be filled in like the circle on the right. This means that we are using the less than symbol or the greater than symbol when we mark our number on the number line. This means that we do not include this number in our solution set. We do not want it. However, on the right-hand side, you'll notice that it says less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. So remember, those inequality symbols look like this with the line underneath of them. That equal to means that that number is inclusive in our solution set. We want it. We would want to use that number. Okay, so we fill that circle in. I have provided you with 4 examples. We will complete the odd numbered examples together, and then I will ask you to pause the video, and you'll have a moment or two to select work out your answer for examples 2 and 4. Then you can unpause the video, watch me work through it, double check your work to make sure that it is correct. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So in example 1 in the upper left-hand corner, it says x is less than 2. So you should have written down these inequality symbols that show which circle we need to use on our graph. It's very important that we use the correct circle, especially whenever we're working in problems like IXL or the end of the year exam for K-Prep. It doesn't matter if you graph it correctly. If your circle is not filled in and it's supposed to be, or it is filled in and it's not supposed to be, they will count it wrong. So will I. Just be sure that you are using the correct symbols and that you have these written down. So let's go back to example number 1. It says x is less than 2. Okay, so my first question to you would be, is this an open circle or is this a closed circle? Since we have just a less than symbol, okay, then we have to make sure that we are using the correct circle, so it's just a less than. So that means our circle would be open, okay? So we have an open circle. When we draw our number line, I'm not going to expect you to draw a massive number line from, negative 10 to positive 10 or whatever your numbers may be. When you create a number line for me, I just want you to show a basic understanding of you understand how the numbers work on a number line. So you can place your number in the center. Okay, remember that our solution is wherever this number is. So that means our circle would go on number 2. And then you can just give me 2 numbers above and 2 numbers below. This will show me that you understand the general directions of the number line. Okay, so our circle goes on x is 2. When x is less than 2, so our circle will go on the 2. And then we're looking for numbers that are less than 2. Remember that you always read from the variable. So x is less than 2 means I'm looking for numbers that are less than 2. If it helps you, I like to have students say numbers for the letter x. So I would say, in place of saying x is less than 2, I would say numbers less than 2, so that I can remember that I'm looking for numbers less than 2, which means that I want to draw my arrow then to the left. Okay, so I double check my work. My circle is on 2, it is open, and I'm looking at numbers that are less than 2. Yep, that is correct. So I want you to try example 2 here on your own. Okay, I want you to pause the video and I want you to try it. Okay, awesome job. Let's check our work. So if you had done yours correctly, you would know that we have an open circle. It should be on the 6, 5, 4, 7, and 8. And we should have numbers being less than 6, which means our number would go to the left. Okay, let's look at example number 3. It says x is greater than 5. So we have our number line. Okay. Again, let's double check and make sure we know what circle to use. So that is a greater than symbol. If I refer back to my chart, that or my description of which circles to use, back here. Okay, inequality symbols. The greater than symbol falls under the open circle. Actually, this one would be open, and then this one would be what we call closed. Okay. So it falls under the open circle, so we have that at 5. My circle is open. I've got 2 numbers above, 2 below, and I'm looking for numbers greater than 5, which means I'm going to go to the right. Okay, so pause this video, and I want you to try example 4 on your own. Okay, so I hope your example looks just like mine. We have an open circle at 4, and we are drawing our line to the right because our inequality says x is greater than 4. Let's look at example number 5. Example 5 says x is less than or equal to 7. Remember that less than or equal to, greater than or equal to gives us a closed circle on the number line. Okay, a closed circle on the number line. So when I draw my number line here, 7, 8, 9, 6, and 5, that means my circle is going to be on the 7. It's going to be closed. And x is less than or equal to 7, which means I need numbers less than 7. Okay. Let's look at example number 7. I'm going to go ahead and skip down here. So that x is greater than or equal to 4. Okay, so that means our circle will be closed and on the number 4. 2 above would give me 5 and 6. 2 below would give me 3 and 2. And x is greater than or equal to 4, which means I'm going to be looking for numbers going to the right of 4 that are going to be greater than. I want you to pause the video here, and I want you to try examples 6 and 8 on your own. Okay, welcome back. I hope that your examples for 6 and 8 look just like mine. So let's look at example number 6. It says x is less than or equal to 9, which means I should have a circle on the number 9. It should be closed because I'm using the less than or equal to symbol. And I should be showing numbers less than 9, which means my line would be going to the left. Example number 8 says x is greater than or equal to 3. I should have a closed circle on 3. I'm looking for numbers that are greater than 3, so that means my line will be going to the right. Okay. So these are your IXLs. They say a SMART score of up to 90 for full credit. Anything above a 90 will give you that extra credit. So these are the types of problems that you will see for a SMART score of 0 to 55. So remember that we are to first solve this inequality. So let's go ahead and do that. I've got 1 plus 2p is greater than 9. So remember, draw our line, subtract 1 on both sides, and I get 2p is greater than 8. Divide both sides by 2, and I get p is greater than 4. Okay, so my inequality symbol is greater than. So I have an open circle at 4, and I want numbers greater than 4, which means I'm going to go to the right. These are the types of questions that will get you up to a 55. For 55 through 85 as your SMART score, these are the types of questions that you will see. A little bit more complicated. So I got that division piece in there where I've got t divided by 4 plus 1 is less than 2. Okay, so I draw my line, subtract 1 on both sides so that t divided by 4 is less than 1. And then to undo the division, remember we have to multiply by 4 on both sides so that t is less than 4. Now, the number that we multiplied by here was not negative, so keep that rule in mind. Remember that if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to flip your inequality sign. So in this case, t is less than 4. So I have my circle at 4. It is open, and I want numbers that are going to go to the left, less than 4. These are the types of questions that will get you up to an 85. For a SMART score of 85 to 100, we're going to need to look at this one here. It says 1 is less than b divided by negative 2 minus 1. So we draw our line. We're going to have to add 1 to both sides. So b divided by negative 2 is going to be greater than 2. Then we have to multiply both sides by negative 2. Remember, here's that piece where we multiply or divide by a negative number. We have to flip our sign. So in this case, b is actually less than negative 4. And remember to always read from your variable. b is less than negative 4. So I want to draw my circle at negative 4, and I want to go to the left for less than. If you have any questions, please feel free to email or send a Google Classroom message, whatever you need. Rewatch the video as many times as what you need to.